Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for our press conference with NCCU head football coach Trei Oliver. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And if you could start off by talking about what the team has been doing the past few weeks to get ready for the big game on Saturday.
Man, it feels like we've been through summer camp all over again, or spring ball. We've had an opportunity to slow some things down and really focus in on some technique and fundamental type things, and then from there move on to some game plan and schematic type things. But the guys they're tired of practicing against each other. It's been a long time since we laced them up, and they're chomping at the bit to get back out there. So they're very eager for Saturday. They're ready to roll.
Our first question is from Shemai Cook. Go ahead, Shemai.
Hey, Coach Oliver, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm great. First of all, I want to say congratulations on winning MEAC Coach of the Year. Well deserved. In your debut speech, almost a year ago on the 13th, when you became the head football coach of NCCU, you said, quote, that you wanted to make this program a championship program. Talk about your journey on how you made this program a championship program in this past 4 years.
Well, yeah, it's been a journey, but you just have to have a vision and stay focused and stick to your process. And for me, it was about bringing good people in here, good young men, good student athletes, as well as staff. And I was blessed to bring some really good football players in here and really good staff members. And when times got tough or the ball didn't bounce our way, 19. We didn't get frustrated and just stayed the course and kept working. But we've seen a lot of development, a lot of improvement throughout the years since 19. And we still have a relatively young football team. So I expect us to continue trending the right way and continue the success throughout the next several years to come.
NCCU, you guys have been through a bit of adversity through this season, taking 2 losses to Campbell and to SC State, to South Carolina State. But to your opponent, Jackson State hasn't taken any losses this year. How do you think those 2 losses compared to Jackson State's 0 losses can help you in this game? Can give you more leverage in this Celebration Bowl?
Well, I don't think losing really helps you. I'd much rather be 11-0 right now. But those 2 losses are behind us. We moved on from that, and Jackson State is undefeated. But we have a very good football team. We've improved tremendously since those 2 games, and I thought we were in a rhythm finishing out the later part of the season. But Jackson State is a very good football team. But I think that we match up well with them, and I think we match up just fine with them.
17 of your players this year earned all MEAC team honors. What does that mean to your program?
Those guys work for it. Nothing's given, and they've worked hard in the off season and with Coach Thomas Carroll, Coach TC. And that's where it all starts, in the weight room and our strength and conditioning program. They do an outstanding job, those guys down there. And then our coaches come up with a game plan every week and putting these guys in position to be successful. But it's a team effort, a group effort. And, like I said, we have a really good program here. And I say we don't have that true star power. I can't say it anymore because you said we had 17 make all conference. I guess we do have some. But when I say that, it's about team and the chemistry that we have here. I think is like none other. And this is one of the best teams I've been a part of.
Our next question's from Lawrence Davis. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm good. Long time no talk, I guess. I wanted to ask you a couple quick questions. How did this short break kind of compare to the last, 2-3 weeks of the preseason?
Well, it wasn't too short. We had about, I guess, 3.5 weeks off. So we spent some time trying to, finish up academically, finish up strong in the classroom with our exams and all that. Guys got a chance to go home during Thanksgiving. But the last 2 weeks, we've been getting after it pretty good. And, it's a fine line, between getting these guys back in game shape and at the same time, you don't want to wear them out. So we've adjusted practice quite a bit. adding more periods here at certain times to try to, press them and push them and get them in shape. And then sometimes you have to kind of pull back a little bit. So right now we pulled back some. I believe we'll have 2 more practices before we head down to Atlanta. But like I said, these guys are ready to roll, man.
Cool beans. And then just talk about kind of offensively and defensively, who have been some players that's kind of stepped up in the last, 3 weeks or so that we can kind of look for that might not have maybe made that much of an impression over the first, 11 games or so?
Oh, I mean, really, it's always a team effort. That's what it's always been about. Defensively, I'll say Max Urin has really improved our linebacker. Even the young one, Albert Red and Twan Anderson, those guys have stepped up in the linebacker core. And then our back end, those guys, our secondary, those guys have been steady. And we've kind of had to play quite a bit because of injury back there. But of course, Brandon Codrington, was a very good football player. Romeo Stansel has really improved throughout the later part of the season. We've had several guys step up, man. I'm really pleased. Tamar Smith, it's been several guys, and obviously offensively, that those skill positions, man, like I say, you can pick your poison. So the receivers continue to play well. Running backs have been solid all year with pass protection as well as running behind their pads. And then, of course, our offensive line, they've played well. And I think that's the biggest difference this year than the previous years is our O-line play. And, our quarterback is all right, so he's decent.
And then I know it's a pretty big time right now for your team, just with graduation, all the MEAC awards, you being named the coach of the year. So just as a coach, as a man, just how pleased are you with, the level of excellence that your program is putting out on a daily basis?
Well, those were our expectations, honestly. And I don't mean to say that in any type of way, but, that's what we expect around here, greatness. We want to be great. And, the big thing for me is when you see, Pee Wee get player of the year and then he's graduating on Saturday. That's what it's about. He had the opportunity to go to Las Vegas with the National Football Foundation and get an award there. So for guys to get their degree, that's first and foremost, that's what I'm most pleased about. And then all the other accolades, those guys are well deserving of it.
Cool. Thank you so much and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Trayvon Miles. Go ahead, Trayvon.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm well, Trayvon. How you?
Pretty good. First question, there's a little bit going on at Jackson State. They've been through a bunch over the last couple of weeks. Have you had to prepare your team or talk to your team any differently than, before news hit about what's going on? Or have you had to prepare your team, potentially for different players playing, or what's that been like so far?
No. It's all about us. Whoever we saw on film the last time when they played Southern, that's what we're preparing for. So I don't know what they have going on with their players or their staff, but we're going down preparing to play the team that we saw last on film, which was against Southern University. And the big thing that we've been preaching around here is let's do what we do. And, I said in the press conference down there, we're not going to reinvent the wheel and change offensively and defensively. Whatever those guys have seen on film on us, that's what we're going to do Saturday. So they're going to have to stop us.
Secondly, I had a chance last weekend to talk with Adrian and Juan just about their process and how they were able to come to Central. In addition to what they're doing with the MEAC and Latinx connection. They talked a lot about their recruitment process and how you all made it easier on them and what, wouldn't be simple for them and their parents, how Central really made it easy on them. What do you remember about their process and how crucial have those guys been to your success this year?
Well, I think our former defensive coordinator, Juan Navarro, was probably the player of the year with that one because there was a language barrier there. And I don't speak much Spanish. But there, when they came up, Juan, Navarro, Coach Navarro did an outstanding job of making them feel at home and really doing a good job of communicating. And I think a lot of times that has a lot to do with it, just the being able to communicate and articulate your thoughts and the program and everything that's going on there. And I think that had a lot to do with how comfortable the families were. Of course, Juan and Adrian obviously are fluent in English, but just when the parents want to ask the questions and they want to hear from a staff member, I didn't have to, communicate through the young man, and they try to tell the parents. So that had a lot to do with it. And then, with just us being us, this is essential to who we are. We got great people here, man. And it's about developing young men. They've been all through the community and raising money and serving lunch and feeding people. So I'm so happy with what they've done throughout the community.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next question is from Jonathan Duran. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Hey, Jonathan. How you, man?
I'm doing well, doing well. Coach, this is the second time in your tenure that you'll be going into a game, rather a premium game against a SWAC opponent. We had the MEAC SWAC Challenge last year, and Coach, throughout this season, the Eagles go 5-1 against non-conference opponents. We talked about how you wanted to be able to send this team out there to make a statement for the MEAC and prove that MEAC was, a viable league and to have some recognition for the league. So, Coach, as you prepare to go into this game again against a SWAC opponent, what's it like again to be able to carry the MEAC banner into a game that has this kind of magnitude around it? Yeah,
definitely, and that's a great question. I mean, that's huge for us, our university, to and our program to represent the MEAC in this heated rivalry. And like I said before, and I say it all the time, I don't think we get enough credit in this conference. I think we play some really good football. And every year we play these guys, whoever we playing from the SWAC, we're always underdog every year. Obviously this year, Jackson being undefeated, I can kind of understand that, but we got to go out here and play well for our conference. And we played well thus far, like you said, not with our non-conference games, but this for all the marbles. We're talking about a national championship game, and we need to bring that back to Durham.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Caleb Field. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, my first question is, you talked about earlier having a fine line with not gassing guys. You guys are almost with 3.5 weeks without playing. I just want to know, you guys, was there anything extra or different that you guys did in preparation? Saw some guys working in the pool, or was there any different type of message that you sent to these guys with extra time off?
No, it's about really take care of your bodies. We got to stay in the training room, make sure we're eating right and hydrating. And we did get in the pool the other day to do a little bit of hydrotherapy, do a workout in there. But we didn't, like I said, we didn't reinvent the wheel. The practice schedule, for the most part, was consistent. We did, change some periods, whether it be good on good, our 1-0 versus 1D, or pulling some periods out. So you just kind of got to look at the guys and get a feel for your team, watching how they move and things of that nature. But the big thing right now is just rest. So we'll work out there in the building from 10 to 12, and then we come back and practice. And then we give them the rest of the day off. So the big thing for me right now is to make sure they rest and they're full go when we get to Atlanta.
Right. And from a Jackson State standpoint, they are undefeated, as we know. They also have a 1,000-yard rusher and a QB completing 70% of his passes. From a coaching standpoint, what do you guys take away to be able to hand them their first L?
Them guys are pretty good. I can't take anything away from them. The quarterback, Shador, is outstanding young man, outstanding quarterback. Defensively, I mean, they are big and can run. This is probably one of the best teams I've seen in my career, FCS, as far as from a talent standpoint. But I do think that we match up well schematically against them. I think it's going to be some things that we do that they haven't seen before, and we'll see how they adjust. But I think, when I talk about how talented they are, we got some players here too. And our guys cannot wait to go down there and put on the show in Atlanta.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Our next question is from Donald Ware. Go ahead, Donald.
Hey, what's going on? Coach Oliver, how you doing?
I'm well, Donald. How are you?
Pretty good. All right, so looking at Davius Richard, right? Can you speak to not only how he's progressed throughout the course of his career, playing for you, probably second or third string as a true freshman back in 2019, but how much he's progressed over this season? I mean, because even when you look at the touchdowns he's responsible for, he's got a certain amount throwing, but man, he's a dual threat guy.
Right, he's definitely a dual threat guy. And I mean, I think it's twofold. His, he puts in a whole lot of time, and he's a very mature young man, and it means a lot to him to be great. And then secondly, I think Coach Leone, our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, has done an outstanding job just breaking stuff down and slowing the game down for him. So he's very disciplined with his reads. He doesn't force the ball. That's why we don't have a whole lot of turnovers at that position. And he just takes what defenses give them. And then if you want to, play coverage, he can, pull it down and beat you with his legs. And, he's like a running back there when he tucks that ball away. But he's a blessing to have on the team. And I think, he's the best quarterback in Black College.
And then last thought, how do you evaluate a Savion Wilkerson, the running back who you had a chance to play against last year when he played at Delaware State, and now what he's doing at Jackson State?
He can fly, he can roll. And, he was fast when he was at Delaware State, and he probably got a little faster now. So they got about 3 good running backs back there. We just have to do a very good job of staying out of one-on-one situation. And we call it V-tackling or leveraging the football. But he's also physical on top of that. He runs behind his pads, and, he loves contact. But, we have to, and our form is always to stop the run first. So we're going to have to, make sure that we're defeating blocks and we're leveraging that football. And the big thing is getting hats to the ball. We got to get all 11 guys running and playing fast and getting to that football.
All right. Appreciate it. Good luck. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, I have one more question for you. You had the opportunity to be able to join Davius and Khalil Baker as the offensive and defensive players of the year out in Las Vegas for the awards presentation. What was that experience like for you? And what do you think that experience is like for the players?
Well, first of all, I thought going out there, I'd be hands down the best dressed, but those guys gave me a run for my money. But no, man, it was a great opportunity for those guys to go to Las Vegas. Unbelievable experience. The folks that you meet out there, all the Heisman Trophy winners, and just the people that you're around and the folks that you actually network with. I met so many athletic directors there, and people that are really interested in giving back to these young men. And I think the connections they made while they were there can last them a lifetime. And that's just a testament of not just our university, but of the MEAC, our conference, the big things, the great things they're doing, because we're the only FCS conference that was represented out there. So when you hear Kurt Herbstreit calling out guys' names, man, you're doing something right.
Hi, Davius. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm well. First and foremost, congratulations on earning your degree on Saturday. What was that experience like for you?
It was an awesome experience. The ceremony from the start to the end was good. I mean, that's what you come to college for, to obtain your degree. They call that breaking even as being a student athlete. So, I'm more than happy to say I was able to break even.
And we just asked Coach Oliver about the experience in Vegas. What was that experience like for you in Las Vegas receiving that award?
The experience was amazing. It was my first time in Vegas. So, what better way to have your first time in Vegas for an award? But from the time we got there to the time we left, it was good. I had a chance to tour the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. And that stadium is crazy. Like, it's insane how big it is. But they treated us with good hospitality the whole time we was there. Anything we needed, we had no hesitation to ask for. But overall, it was a good experience.
And we'll open the questions from the media. The first question's from Shemai Cook. Go ahead, Shemai.
Congratulations on winning MEAC Office Player of the Year. Well deserved. Coach Oliver also won a MEAC award with Coach of the Year. Talk about how the type of culture he has built for you and your teammates in the locker room.
Built a great culture for real. He kind of emphasized that when we first got here in 2019. Like, he's seen the vision, he's seen the picture before a lot of the guys here. And I'm just happy, we was able to buy in and then to see the fruit that was here today. So, he did a great job, especially with the circumstances he came into and then the season we had in 2019. And just to see it turn around in the full circle is just amazing.
After watching film on Jackson State's defense over the past few weeks you had off, what are some things that you are excited to attack in this Celebration Bowl?
For real, I'm really most excited about the competition. Probably one of the best teams we've seen this season. And they're just all around solid from the front four to the backers to the DBs. They're just all around solid. So it's gonna be a great test for real. Like, and it's just not like one side. We just don't got to worry about, oh, they got a good D line, but DBs, we don't got to worry about it. We got to worry about all three levels from the D line, the linebackers to the DBs. So that's gonna be really exciting.
Good luck, Davius.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hi, Davius. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Coach Oliver just mentioned how your maturity is one of your greatest assets to the team, as well as your leadership. You just obtained your degree. Congratulations on that as well. Heading into this game, you mentioned Jackson State is one of the best teams that you've played so far. I just wanted to know, as a leader with this team looking to you, what would a win mean?
I mean, it would mean a lot. For real. I mean, we come into every game treating it like it's another game because the most important game is the next game. But at the same time, it's hard to face the fact that it's not like the national championship. So, I mean, it'll mean the world, especially sending those seasons off with another reign. So, I mean, it's all or nothing.
With you setting the record for total yards of offense at Central, I would just like to ask, going into the game with your offensive coordinator, what has that connection been like, having these 3 extra weeks off? And what can we expect to see from the offense? Are there going to be any more wrinkles, or is it just going to be what you guys have been doing, which has been dominating the MEAC and taking that down there to Jackson State?
I mean, for real, the connection with me and Coach Leone has just been amazing. We've been building on it since he got here. So it's just a everyday thing that we built on from in practice, out of practice to the field room. We just see ways to perfect my game. He does a great job of doing that. And as a game plan wise, I mean, we're just gonna come in and do what we do what we've been doing this whole season. Not really too much to try to change or whatever, just do what we've always been doing this whole season, where it's been successful for us.
Right. Thank you and good luck.
Appreciate that.
Our next question is from Lawrence Davis. Go ahead, Lawrence.
What's good, D? How you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. From a player's perspective, kind of talk about the last 3 weeks and the preparation you guys have had to get, ready for this moment. What has practice been like? What has training been like? And personally, what do you feel like the conditioning level of the team is like?
I mean, for the most part, it's been just like Coach Oliver said previously. Really been just trying to take care of bodies. It's been a long season. So being the guys, we had guys banged up or had oops and owies and just really just trying to get everybody back healthy. As far as practice-wise, I mean, it has been little tweaks here and there, but it's nothing really changed. So just like he said, add a period, take out a period, shorten the period, lengthen the period, just stuff like that, depending on what you feel like we need to work on for that day. And like conditioning-wise, I mean, we did just play a whole season, so I don't really feel too like that was going to affect anything with a couple weeks off. For real, we just had like over the Thanksgiving break, but we've been working on it ever since. So.
And then, as it gets closer to game time, how do you control your anxiousness? Because everybody's going to be excited to play. I know it's going to be hard to get some sleep come Friday night, but how do you guys kind of stay in the moment?
I mean, for the most part, we all talk a common language, and it just take everything day by day, play by play. So I mean, it has been a little minute since we played the game, but I mean that's how it is when the first game of the season. We had the same emotions. Be like, man, I'm tired of seeing the same person at practice. I'm trying to go against somebody else. So for the most part, I'm not really too worried about that because I mean everybody gonna have the little jitters and oops and hours and stuff like that. But I mean after that first kickoff, the first play and stuff like that, all of that kind of goes away after the first contact for a lot of guys. So I mean it just be in the time of the moment.
And then you're talking about the moment. I know this last 2 or 3 weeks has been crazy for you guys with, MEAC awards, graduation and stuff like that. So just how have you kind of, now that you're kind of on the other side of it and you had a chance to kind of absorb all of that, kind of talk about, your feelings of just not only you graduating, but just to see all your teammates also having a whole bunch of success. Talk about, that feeling.
I mean, it feels surreal. Like I said just earlier, I mean, we come to school to break even, get that degree. I always try to say, coaches use y'all bodies and this and that, so make sure you use the coaches. And one way you use the coaches is by attaining that degree. So, I mean, it was a real heartfelt moment being in there with a couple of my teammates. walking the stage, seeing them get their diploma. So I mean, it's a blessing.
Appreciate it, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Jonathan Duran. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Davius, good to see you again. Congratulations on the award.
I appreciate that.
Davius, you came here to North Carolina Central in 2019, 3 years after the Eagles played in the Celebration Bowl for the first time as a program. Did you have a chance to see the Eagles in that game? And also, have you had a chance to hear from any of the alumni that played in that game?
See, not the day of the game. I probably like seen a couple years after for real. But hearing from alumni, I mean, Nick, he's very active, like in the program for real. Anytime he has like they off week or off season stuff like that, he always be sure to swing by, get a workout in. If we working out, whatever, just swing by the complex. So I mean, that's it for real. I have to think of on the spot.
And how excited are you to have a chance to go into this bowl game with a chance to represent just like they did?
I mean, I only can thank God for real. Well, not only, but thank God and my teammates and my coaches for allowing me to be in this position and just having this opportunity to represent the great University of North Carolina Central. And I just can say I'm just going to do my all to perform my best.
Davius, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Trayvon Miles. Go ahead, Trayvon.
Hey, thanks, Cal. Davius, first of all, congratulations, man. You come from a really football-rich area down in South Florida. I just wanted to get your story on, first of all, I mean, I'm sure it's common, but how'd you get started with the game of football? And how early were you out there playing? I know guys get started really, really early down there, but just how early were you playing and just some of your earliest memories of starting the game?
I started playing football in the 3rd grade. And I really only started playing because my brother was playing and a lot of my friends were playing. I mean, that's a little late compared to what people do down there, but early for some. But I mean, that's how I really got into it. Just got into it because a lot of people around me was in it. Played the first 2 years just to be around the boys. Then after that, started to realize I liked the game and stuff. So, and then just being from Belgrade, Florida, the Mud City, just like you said, a football-rich town. So a lot of the people down there in the hometown just keep up with anybody that reaches the college level from high school. And then all I can say, they show a lot of support, get a lot of congratulations on the accolades I've been receiving. But more congratulations just on graduating and being like an example for kids down there that don't get to see that a lot. So, I mean, I take real pride in that, being like an example for the younger guys down there.
Secondly, there are a lot of pros from down in that area as well. What are some of your earliest memories of seeing guys that are from where you from and reaching that level? And were there any that even influenced you in your career growing up?
Kind of influenced me, but at the same time, my reason of playing was a little bit different when I first started. But like one of the earliest memories I had of like NFL pros, it was Kevin Benjamin. Like he was my neighbor. He stayed like right in the apartments behind me. And I just remember just playing like throwing back, running, just like football, whatever, just throw it back. I just remember my early days playing football with him, not thinking too much of it, because that's when back then he was in high school, and I really didn't even attend the high school games like that for real. So I knew he played, but I knew how great he was and stuff like that. So I got a little older, got in like middle school, high school era, and seeing like he was at Florida State doing what he was doing, then was able to go to Carolina and do what he did there. So it always been around me, but I didn't really take notice until like late middle school, early high school to like, oh, like this the importance, like this the significance of this dude. Like, and I was just playing backyard football with him like he wasn't nothing.
Thank you for that story. Congratulations. Best of luck this weekend.
Appreciate that.
And we may have another question from Shemai Cook. Go ahead, Shemai.
You guys were predicted in the MEAC to finish second this year, behind South Carolina State. What is your message to those people who doubted you in this program?
For real, I ain't even got no message to him. I let the work speak for itself. You see where we at today. So I mean, do what you want to do, whatever. I let the work speak. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you see, like we getting ready for a bowl game. So That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Davius.
Davies, going into a bowl game, obviously you're excited about the matchup on Saturday. Are you aware of the other auxiliary events that are going to be taking place when you arrive in Atlanta on Wednesday? And if so, maybe what are you looking forward to the most?
I wouldn't say I heard of them and heard a lot about them, but I wouldn't say specifically everything. I know we got a tour. I can't remember because it came out, it went out the other ear so fast. But I'm just excited to be able to experience this, get down there and see everything they have planned for us. They say it's gonna be top of the line. I believe it. They already started giving gifts. They gave the whole team celebration bowl bag, speakers, headphones, just right. We ain't even make that Atlanta yet. So I mean, I'm really excited to just get down there and get the full experience of having a bowl game, and just excited for the guys to be able to experience that too.